So the Toronto Raptors played the Golden State Warriors in an elimination game 5 for the Warriors at Scotia Bank Arena. I think about 2 days ago. And I took some time before publishing this post game thoughts because this game itself was very bittersweet. And obviously, the reason why is you have the whole situation regarding the fans and Katie getting injured, and that was probably very trashy and very disrespectful. You could definitely even see that the players, particularly Siakam, Lowry, and Ibaka, and the rest of Toronto, eventually were like immediately, I should say, telling the fans to stop cheering on an injury. Every fan base is gonna have their fair share of bad apples, right? And it's just unfortunate that in the heat of the moment, a lot of Toronto fans decided to lose respect and some decency. Now, with that being said, let's not pretend here that Warriors fans are entirely innocent as well. I mean, I didn't even bring up the whole Mark Stevens situation. I just mentioned he was a fan, right? Like, the guy is a fucking part owner of the Warriors, so he is like more important than a fan in terms of representation, right? And he shoved Kyle Lowry, and I mean, like, right? You had your fair share of bad fans. You also had that one fan. I didn't even bring this up at all because I thought it was like whatever, right? About the fact that when Fred VanVleet got basically, smacked underneath the eye and cut open, losing a tooth, you had somebody in the Warriors stand cheering "Let's go Warriors" because of his injury, right? So you have, now I know it's like situation can't be the same because obviously there were more Raptors fans doing this kind of trashy shit, but let's not pretend here that there's innocent like one fan base is entirely innocent, right? And I'm not like if you look on Reddit, I just stayed off Reddit because it's like a witch hunt for the Toronto Raptors after Game 5. Like yesterday, complete witch hunt, yada yada yada, talking about Katie's injury. Anyway, let's head to the game. Now, this game for me, it was a roller coaster of emotions. You knew that the Warriors were going to give you everything they had. And KD coming on, in the first quarter, first 2 quarters, I was just like, God damn. Man, the man was knocking down threes in Kawhi Leonard with a hand in his face. Like, he was cooking. And I think like Golden State themselves shot an incredible percentage from 3-point. I think they made like 23 pointers, which is like the second most in finals history. And they were just bombarding the Raptors early, but the Raptor defense, as it's shown to have evolved over the course of this playoffs, has managed to stay within striking distance, 2 possessions at most. And this is kind of the story throughout the entirety of the game. You had a lot of Warriors, mainly Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant before he went down, hitting, key 3-pointers that would just take the momentum or the crowd out of the game, and the Raptors, to their credit, fought back, and it was like a long, back and forth. At one point, I think the Warriors had a double-digit lead at 13 or something, but the Raptors managed to battle back, and you can just take a look at how even this game was. Just look at the fact that second and third quarter completely identical, and I'm going to skip all the way to the fourth quarter because there wasn't really much I had to say about the third rather than the Raptors, battling back and matching Golden State's intensity. The fourth quarter for me was the most, it was a little bit head-scratching, but after I went back to kind of just take a look at how the series of plays went down, I kind of, understand why Nick Nurse called that what many are deeming a bizarre, momentum-killing, just stupid choking timeout with 1 minute left that lets the Warriors score 9 in a row. Believe me, I felt that. I was like, fucking A, are you serious right now? But yeah, Kawhi Leonard goes on a 10-0 run by himself to, basically get the entire crowd, entire city, entire country of Canada hyped up because, we're 3 minutes away from celebrating our first NBA title. And all of a sudden, a timeout by Nick Nurse comes, and it's later explained by Nick Nurse that Kawhi was feeling exhausted, and he called the timeout. All right, that's fair enough. If Kawhi called the timeout, then you give the man a couple of some rest. And his justification for calling, another timeout so soon afterwards was that he was going to lose the 2 timeouts heading into I think it was under 2 minutes of game. Don't know if that's a thing, but I'm going to trust his judgment in this particular situation. What I don't really understand is the final play that was drawn up, and how in the the Warriors went on a 9-0 run that was built off of 3-pointers. And I don't really understand the obviously there was a missed foul call on Marc Gasol, I think the second last possession where he obviously got fouled, but it was just missed. I don't understand that last play. And I was just like, what? Because for a fact that Kawhi Leonard is getting doubled, and for a fact that the Warriors are going to try to cut off his passing lanes. Arguably that's the only weak spot in his game. So, with all that knowledge and having called 2 timeouts to give rest, you would think that there would have been some sort of play designed to get Kawhi isolated, or get someone like Danny Green, who, my God, too inconsistent this finals, open, or some 3-point shooter open. But instead what ends up happening is Kawhi gets doubled, and he kicks it out to Lowry, who takes I don't want to call it ill-advised, because he was pretty, I would say it's a decent 3 for him to take, but there were better opportunities in that play. I think there was a lane that was wide open, or someone could have drove in. It's just it was a little bit bizarre just seeing that play unfold, because if Kawhi is being doubled and you've known this for a fact after witnessing him go on a 10-0 run, the Golden State Warriors are definitely going to say stop him, and the Raptors are like, okay, he's going to be stopped. We've had proof of this for him scoring on 10 points straight, to devise something to kind of stop that from happening. And they didn't, or whatever they did, it clearly didn't work. And credit to Golden State, they fought back. They showed their championship mentality. KD's injury, many people thought they would be deflated after he went down again. I, on the contrary, I was like, man, this is going to energize them. Toronto cannot pull a Houston. Is right. When Houston saw KD go down, you heard, Austin Rivers say that, okay, now is our time. Everyone got relaxed. No. You cannot pull a Houston, Toronto. Do not do that, because if you do, and if you don't take this loss seriously and come out swinging in Oracle Game 6, congratulations. You have ceded all the momentum back to the Golden State Warriors, and they've shown they can beat us in Scotiabank without Kevin Durant. I don't want to hear the fact that KD scored 9. There were plenty of opportunities in this game to pull ahead, whether it be making shots. I mean, Pascal he had many opportunities to shoot it from the corner, just missed, or early on his drives weren't going in. The team tried very hard to get Pascal going. It was only somewhat effective. In fact, it was kind of, in my opinion, this game, you should have put more into the Ibaka basket, right? And speaking about players in general, Ibaka came to play, and so did Gasol. You're probably not going to see Gasol step up like this again, all right? Gasol was absolutely sensational, a virtuoso on offense and defense in the first half. And why the Raptors didn't feed him more and capitalize on this, I do not understand. Really? He was having a stellar game. 2 of 3 from 3-pointers. The past couple of games, Gasol has hit 1 of 4. So I'm getting a little worked up here, because me just playing the game back, I'm like, when is Gasol ever going to shoot above 25% from 3 a game again? He's probably not. He had the home crowd. He was feeling it. Give it to Gasol. Because we saw 2014 Gasol come again. And when was the last time we saw that? I think in the second round, guys. I think, or very early, game 1 or in the second round. Because, my God, it's a rare sighting. Just like 2016 Lowry. And Lowry, he was aggressive this game. I think he realized after the second quarter that he could really exploit driving into the lane against Boogie Cousins. And you saw him hit that turnaround jumper, just abusing the lack of mobility and availability of dribble drive that the Warriors were giving to him, and it was paying off. It was definitely paying off. Now he was 1 for 6 from three. My thing with this is I don't expect Kyle to shoot the best from three, so 1 of 6 is a little bit expected, even though you do hope that he hits at least two, right? And finally, Danny Green, bruh, come on, man, you got to do better than this. You need to do better than this. This is not this is a finals game. This is a close. You have to close them out, right? Kevin Durant goes down. I know you're guarding Steph Curry, but come on, dude. Even Fred VanVleet, after getting knocked in the eye, is hitting more threes than you. And he was critical. Fred, I felt like this game, especially in the second and third quarter, when the Warriors were getting a little bit out of hand with their lead, Fred stepped up, hit a timely 3-point shot to re-swing that momentum. But yeah, if you're the Toronto Raptors, this game is it's a bitter loss. Fans weren't exactly the best. You lost by 1 point, but are the Warriors going to shoot 23 points again? As good of a team as they are they really going to shoot 20 from hit 23-point shots again? I don't think so, right? I mean, if they do, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't see that happening. And I see Danny, you need to get your head out of your ass. Nick Nurse, if you have to go back to slicing Green's minutes to 14-15 like you did with, in games 3 and 4, do it, because that seemed to work out for you, right? If Danny is not contributing, man, stick him Fred VanVleet. You need someone that can hit shots, because, yeah, this Danny Green definitely should not have played 33 minutes for Game 5. That's all I'm saying, right? Kawhi, he didn't shoot too well. He's getting doubled all the time. He only had 26 points. I personally think Kawhi is at this point this has been the case ever since he got hobbled on what was it? Game 3 against Milwaukee. You could even argue, I would even argue he was already compromised in the Philadelphia series, where he's kind of just degrading. He'll still give you his best performance. He can still crank it up to how he was playing against the Orlando Magic, but overall his body is starting to just over the course of time degrade. And the more this happens, the more the rest of the Raptors need to step the fuck up, because Kawhi, while he can definitely drop you 30, you should not be expecting it at this point unless it's probably Game 7. And going in, no one wants this to go to a Game 7. If you're Toronto Raptors, you want this ended in Oracle. So Danny, my dude, you gotta hit threes. Norm, you didn't have as much playing time as I wanted to, so you got a pass tonight. Serge, use him more. Fred, use him more. The rest of the Raptors will need to step up even more so in Game 6, because you're going into Oracle. The Warriors want to force a Game 7. This is their last home game. Gotta close shit out tomorrow night at 9. So yeah, guys, I will see you after Game 6.